And the National Economic Council at its inaugural meeting has considered recommendations from the National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission to pay 702 billion naira as cost of living allowance to civil servants as part of intervention plans to mitigate the effect of the petroleum subsidy removal. The economic team also discussed other palliative measures and how they will be dispensed to ease the hardship of Nigerians. TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akonde reports.
This inaugural meeting of the National Economic Council has already set the pace for the Tinubu administration's economic growth agenda. Vice President Kashim Shettima and other members of the council are presently faced with a difficult national situation caused by the implementation of the petrol subsidy removal. The National Economic Council resolved to provide palliatives, which will include a consequential increment in the salaries of workers.
Part of the issues that we discussed today is palliative measures to mitigate the effect of the petroleum subsidy through the NGK's program. As you are aware, NGK's program is a program that have started 2021, running up to 2024, and then is to provide some emergency and palliatives, social needs on so many issues ranging from small farmers, holders, MSMEs, and other interventions.
There should be an adjustment, consequential adjustment, estimated at 702 billion to 919 million 8 naira as part of the allowances that should be given as petroleum allowance to all workers, and as well as a 23 or 45 billion monthly offer to cushion the effect to workers.
The federal government may be considering a more pragmatic approach to tackling the many problems associated with subsidy removal. One of these is empowering the National Automotive Design and Development Council to reduce the consumption of petrol by manufacturing electric cars.
It is estimated that if we give legislative support to these companies, that about 1 million jobs from the 50,000 jobs that exist in that industry would be created.
The National Economic Council is also concerned about the impact of floods on households and livelihood in Nigeria. It has directed all states to come up with an action plan on mitigating the impact of this natural disaster and present it to the council.
The inauguration of the National Economic Council is already a pointer to how the economy will be run. But for so many Nigerians, the most important outcome of this meeting is the palliatives and how soon it will cushion the impact of subsidy removal. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
After the suspension of Abdulrasheed Bawa, the new acting chairman of the EFCC, Abdulkareem Chukol, has assumed office. The suspended EFCC chairman is still being held by the Department of State Services, and it's unclear when he'll have his day in court. Sifon Essien has more.
Officials at the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, are coming to terms with the changes at the helm of affairs. The acting chairman, Mr. Abdulkareem Chukol, hit the ground running following the suspension of Mr. Abdulrasheed Bawa. Many persons at the agency, talking about officials of the agency, are grappling with the fact that the change came suddenly. It's something they did not see coming, but it has happened, and the acting chairman is now going to roll out his mandate for the time being. Mr. Bawa's ordeal continues to elicit reactions from those who kept tabs on the activities of the agency under him.
Mr. President, tackling this.
Austin Oleho is one of those who monitored activities of the anti-corruption agency with interest.
The man who is supposed to stop everything that has to do with financial corruption, if he's found wanting because there are accusations by the former Zamfara State Governor Matawela and other people, other institutions have also accused him of request for bribe and high-handedness, in the management of his unit.
The suspended EFCC chairman has been answering questions at the Department of State Services.
I think it's unfortunate, but let's look at what the president has done. Once you have a reasonable reason to believe that these things give you good reason to investigate them, the only thing left was to suspend them. That is the minimum the president can do.
It's unclear when Mr. Bauer will have his day in court. Sifon ACN, TVC News, Abuja.
Away from that, the Labour Party has called 2 additional witnesses in its petition at the Presidential Election Petitions Court. This brings the number of witnesses the party has called so far to 5 out of the 50 witnesses it proposed. Judiciary correspondent Celestina Area reports.
The Labour Party as well as the PDP has less than 2 weeks to conclude their cases before the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal. So far, the Labour Party has called 5 witnesses out of its proposed 50 witnesses, while the PDP has called 21 witnesses out of its proposed 100 witnesses. At today's proceedings, the Labour Party called 2 subpoenaed witnesses, Eric Uwadego, a professor of mathematics at the Nnamdi Azikiwe University, and Lumi Edevo, Director of Operations of Arise TV. Mr. Uwadego began his evidence in chief by adopting his statement. His statement contained 3 data analysis reports of 18,088 blood polling unit results. However, counsel to the President, APC and INEC objected to the witness adopting his witness statement. The court subsequently adopted the report as exhibit and adjourned ruling on the objection till the day of judgment. The Labour Party's second witness for the day, Lumi Edevo, tendered a flash drive which contained a video recording of INEC chairman addressing Chatham House in London on the transmission of polling unit results to the IRF portal. Counsel to INEC, the President and the APC objected to the adoption of the witness statement and the tendering of the flash drive. The court subsequently adjourned to 16th June for cross-examination of both witnesses. In the PDP's petition, they had on 26th May subpoenaed the INEC chairman to appear before the court, but at today's proceedings, Morohu Keji Attar, Deputy Director, Certificate and Complaints, Legal Drafting and Clearance Department, INEC Headquarters, came in his stead. She came with some of the documents listed in the subpoena the PDP had sought for, after which the party recalled its 21st witness, Samuel Odutun, a statistician, for cross-examination by the respondents. Mr. Odutun during cross-examination admitted to be engaged by the PDP for statistical analysis and also paid by the PDP. The Form EC8A used for his analysis were inspected at INEC's headquarters, but he does not know if those particular EC8A forms are the ones before the court. Counsel to INEC, however, tendered the CTC of the Form EC8A Mr. Odutun had a claim to use. The Form EC8A used by the witness had no date and INEC stamp. The court adjourned to 16th June for continuation of proceedings. Celestina Area, TVC News, Abuja.